We are in a very exciting time in our Commonwealth's history and future. As Representative Izzy just said, what we did this last week was historical. And let me tell you a little bit about the city of Reading, because it's like the city of Lancaster in a lot of ways. City of immigrants, a city that has McCaskey High School, just like Reading High School. I'm sure school districts that have textbooks 10, 15 years old, don't have iPads, don't have access to internet like many of the students in my district. And what this bill does over the next 7 years for the Reading School District is this. It brings back over $271 million back to the Reading School District. Let me repeat that number again, $271 million. Folks, that's not chump change. Representative Izzy brought up the fact of property taxes, and I want to speak directly to the community of Lancaster County. Because the truth of the matter is that when politicians in Harrisburg defund and have defunded the public education system for 30 plus years, it is up to school boards in our local respective school districts to pick up the slack. And therefore they have to raise taxes. And so politicians in Harrisburg sometimes are talking out of two sides of their face. They say that they want to lower property taxes and they want to lessen the burden for seniors and keep people in their homes. And yet, when we have $14 billion in a surplus savings account sitting in a bank account somewhere, they're crickets. In fact, there was a bipartisan vote in the House, but it wasn't as bipartisan as we would have liked it. There were a lot of representatives, unfortunately, some who represent some of this area, who voted against it. And so my question to all of you and to the advocates here standing behind us is, what are you going to do about it? Because we've done our job in the House. We've passed this historic bill. But now we need your help. We need you to call your senator, call your representatives, and let them know how much of a priority this is. Not just for Lancaster City, but for the city of Reading, and for Allentown, and for Scranton, and for Erie, and for all those cities that have been left behind because of the underfunding of our school districts. And for those politicians that say that my school district is getting less money, no school district in this bill will receive less money that they have received in the years prior. And so, listen, I know I'm speaking to the choir here, and I appreciate all the advocates and everything that you all have done. But we really are at a precarious moment. We either pass this bill or we don't. And so my message to those at home and to the politicians across the other side of the aisle who don't want to pass this bill, then my question to them is, then what is your plan? Because when the opportunity to appeal the Commonwealth's decision was upon us, they were silent. They accepted the Commonwealth's decision, therefore accepting the fact that we have a $7 billion plus gap in terms of how we equitably fund our school districts. And so my question then for all of you out there, for all your representatives and for all your senators, while you're asking them and while you're calling them and you're emailing them, hey, if you don't agree with our plans, hey, House Democrats and Governor Shapiro, we don't have a monopoly on good ideas. We don't have a monopoly on how to publicly and equitably fund our school districts. We have a good idea on how to do that, but we're also willing to sit down and have earnest and honest conversations about what that looks like. But what we cannot do is not do anything. What we cannot do is allow a court of justices to impose upon us, the elected officials of this Commonwealth, how we decide to spend $7 billion. Because the truth is, and I'm going to wrap my comments with this, we either get this plan done or the judges will implement this plan for us. And sure, we can clap at that, but that takes the power away from your elected officials. That takes the power and the privilege away of what we do up in Harrisburg. Is that not our job to figure out how to allocate dollars across this budget? That's not a justice's job. And so when we allow justices to do that, we abdicate our responsibilities as representatives. So Lancaster County, Lancaster City, I'm with you every step of the way. Let's put the public pressure now on the politicians in Harrisburg to once and for all finish the job.